Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
So, Nantucket, this is a little small two-player game that came with my copy of New Bedford. I guess you could say this is New Bedford Light. It plays a whole lot like it with much smaller components. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the whole bag drawing the whales out of it, that whole thing, and instead you're going to flip a coin. That's the difference, okay? And I'll show you a little bit how it works. I'm not sure I like the flipping the coin mechanism. It's a really quick game. I mean, the MSRP is $10, which means you're going to get it a lot cheaper. The components are pretty easy. And you're not really flipping the coin as much as you're flipping these two-sided things. You flip them up, and then XYZ happens based on how many flip over and whatnot. There's a little bit of strategy to it, but something that plays this quick, 5 to 10, 15 minutes max. You don't expect a whole lot from. I really like, I like the major game, New Bedford. So I think I'd rather just play that two-player because it has a two-player rule set. I'm not sure this adds anything different other than the fact that it's so mobile and small and you could play this out. This is one of those micro games, if you ask me. It has a few components inside. I mean, it's fine for what it is, but I just don't like that shaking up and seeing what happens. It's just too luck-based. The New Bedford has some luck in it, but I can mitigate that by doing XYZ. I don't know. Not for me. I think that it's going to have a market in a micro game, but I'm not a micro game fan. So that one little mechanic just turned me off completely, that huge luck factor, and it's just boring to throw them up in the air. I do like the worker placement. It plays a lot like the original in that respect, without all the bells and whistles that come with the thematic and the artwork and that kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure this was just a Kickstarter add-on. Like, if you get so much, you get this for free. And it's fine for that. But I think I'm going to purchase this one and just stick with the original game. It's not going to fit any kind of gaming need for me. Here are the components for Nantucket. This is a little two-player game that came with New Bedford. Even though New Bedford is a two-player game, you're going to get a little colored rule book. That works fairly well. And it has to be folded up like this because the box is so tiny, right? And I think the rule book works fine. As for components, you're going to get these little boards that come with it. Very tiny. Not the best quality, but they work for what they are. I mean, this is just supposed to be a little quick game. And they have different buildings on them. So these are basically, if you play New Bedford, you put workers on these to activate them. If you haven't played it, I'm sure you have played a worker placement game before. And the other component you're going to get is a bunch of coins. So you're going to have $2 coins and $1 coins, and each of these they'll have a head and a tail on it. I don't know if you can see that. But the book tells you which side is which side. So there's the tail. And then a first player marking that you'll kind of move back and forth. That's all the components. It's a micro game. This is what you get. They're okay. This game's very, very cheap, so you don't expect too much. It's not going to rip up. I mean, these aren't going to rip up unless you wanted to do it yourself. The ends might become frayed, but they're rounded off, and it's fine for what it is. The rules for Nantucket are fairly short. You're going to have a kind of fold out map here, or a rule book here. I think the rules are pretty easy to follow. I didn't have any problems with it. There's there's a description of all the buildings that are in there, and it shows you what the coin heads would be like. And I think that's fine. I think it's weird that the fin, the tail of the whale is considered its head. That was a little confusing. But other than that, I think the rules are pretty clear. Within 4 minutes, you'll be up and playing. When the game starts, you take your little worker. You take three $1 and one $2, and you pick an A board and a B board. The game is very simple. You take your worker and you activate a building. And you just do whatever it says. So let's take a look at some of these. Build a building, take $1, launch a ship. Now these are the ones that are available at the beginning of the game. These have to be built. Change 1 tails to hen, take 2 silver, take 1, then launch a ship. And once these are built, they can be used. Build and take $1, pay 2 silver, take 1 copper, add coins to a ship, 1 point for 2 own, 3 points a church, and 1 point for each 2 copper. So, and there's a little bit of variety because you're picking, there's whole another set of these. So these are available at the beginning of the game, the ones with the anchors, and anybody can use those. So you and I can use them on the same turn. The other ones, once one of us uses it this turn, the other player cannot. So this is all easy. If you play New Bedford, which I'm sure most of you have, you're looking at this. If not, it's just a straight up worker placement. Now where this game is different is that when you ship or you go out to whale, you will take a number of your coins up to 4 and you'll stack them up, and that's your ship. So after the round, at the end of the round, what you'll do is you'll take these and you just flip them up. And certain things will happen. You flip them, it's like flipping a coin. And certain things will happen if it's tails, and certain things will happen if it's heads. And then when you're done, 1 coin will come back to you, and next round you have a ship of 2, where I did have a ship of 3. And then in the next round, flip them again, take 1 off, and I have a ship of 1. And that's how it kind of counts down. If you played New Bedford, this is a different mechanic for the same outcome, I suppose. And this one's flipping. And I'm just going to show you the chart. I figured that's the best way to do it. So there's a little chart that comes with it based on how you do. So if you have 2 copper heads, heads, not tails, heads, you catch a sperm whale and gain 1 copper and 2 silver. You don't actually get this. This is what you get. So having the coppers to flip, which are the $2 ones, is much better than if you had 2 silver heads, which is the $1 ones. You get a bowhead, only get 1 copper in return. So by going out and whaling, you're going to be able to flip these, and with the right flips, you will be able to obtain more coins, and more coins is how you're going to win the game. So it's all going to come down to flipping a heads or tails, and you want to flip as many as possible, obviously hoping you get the outcome that you want. But I guess I don't know much about probabilities. That's not really my foray. You know, the great Jeff Engelstein could tell you better, but it's 50-50, right? These would increase that chance of 50-50? I don't know. I guess somebody smarter than me would know. But that's the game. I mean, this game really comes down. There's a little bit of that worker placement, but it comes down to flipping these coins. You should buy this game of Nantucket. I mean, I think this is going to be just for people looking for micro games or a very cheap game. It's an impulse buy. Maybe you want some free shipping, or you just like these little 2-player, easy to play, 10-15 minute games. You know, it does give you some decisions in a short period of time, although I think the flipping of the coin, the randomness may be too much for me. And I think I'd rather just pull out the big game. I don't have a whole lot of needs for travel size games. I think I'd be fine. Well, you know, this might be a... Even thinking like you can play it on an airplane, but you have to be able to, you know, throw the things up, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Maybe you want some kind of randomizer on your phone or something to do that. Otherwise, this is going to be micro game fans, travel gamers, or just somebody looking for something very light and doesn't mind the extra luck that's involved in it.